Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well, and salutations to you, Akim, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. And in this lesson, I want to get into this article here. As you see, the Condé Nast Traveler. All right. So cntraveler.com. And brothers, we had mentioned this when we did a camp sit down 2 days ago. We went into this article. But this as you see here, it said the bed bugs in Paris. Here's what we know so far. So this is a plague, man. As the article is going to get into, is going to illustrate how there's a major bed bug outbreak in Paris. All right, and it's taken over a lot of different sectors of life, so to say. Okay. It says, we answer all of your travel-related questions about the situation in Paris with the bed bugs, including whether they can follow you home. All right, so it says, here's a sentence I never thought I'd write. Bed bugs have taken over the city of Paris, and we are now faced with the prospect that the outbreak could travel overseas. The infestation begins just before Paris Fashion Week. Yes, these bed bugs have good taste. When reports broke out of increased sightings of the insects in homes, cinemas, trains, and even hospitals, now the questions are being asked about the safety of traveling to and from Paris, what we can do to prevent the spread, and whether the critters are already settling in our mattresses. Below, we answer all your questions about travel and the bed bug spread. All right, so as you see, it mentioned that these things is in the cinemas. So if you go to the movies, there's a good chance you could be ate up by some damn bed bugs. Get up in your clothes, and the next thing you know, they following you home. Then your house gets contaminated. It mentioned insects in homes, even hospitals, trains. So could you imagine whether you taking a train, taking a bus, going to the movies, you're going out to eat, you're at home, at your own home, or even going to the hospital, and you're experiencing a bed bug outbreak. You know what I'm saying? In the article, I'll put it in the description box. In the article, it talks about airplanes and whatnot, because these bed bugs are so evasive that they can get in your luggage, and then you fly from one country to another, and now you don't brought, if you went to Paris, you don't brought bed bugs back to wherever you live, and those things spread like wildfire, man. They duplicate, they multiply, quick. So hey, when reading this article, the first thing I had thought about was ancient Egypt, man, and how the Lord, had the frogs, the various plagues, the frogs, the flies, the locusts. All right, could you imagine, being your whole house, you wake up and there's frogs everywhere, I remember being little, in a certain city we lived in Fresno, right? It's pretty much central California, but certain seasons there would be little ponds and whatnot, and when the baby frogs would hatch and be born, man, you would see thousands of little baby frogs everywhere, just jumping all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Jumping all over the place, and it was kind of like nasty. Seeing all these little frogs and they're making all that noise they make, it was kind of like, ugh, So just imagine all that being in your house or a castle, if you had a castle or a palace, it'd be a terrible experience. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a terrible experience. All right. So uh getting to the scriptures, let me grab this here in 2 Ezra 15 in verse 5. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." All right, so these various nations around the world, they don't get judged like we do, being Israelites. All right, us being the Heavenly Father's chosen people. The Lord, He really chastises us, and for the time being, it seems like these heathen nations are able to, just get away with murder, get away with evil. All right, which it seems like that, but the Lord is going to bring all their judgment upon them at once. All right, so that's going to be a lot more devastating for them to endure and go through versus us being Israelites and incrementally receiving that chastisement. Okay, but these heathen nations are in the situation. They're at a time when the Lord is going to really start amping up that judgment that He's going to send upon them. Okay, and which they ain't going to be able to get away from. All right, but the whole world is going through it. Is about to receive some type of not chastisement, so like some type of judgment from the Heavenly Father. All right, and that bedbug situation is a example of that. All right, 2 Ezra 16 in verse 19, it says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges." All right. So, as the scriptures say, famine, famine and plague, and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. So, you would think that, these heathens. Salaki, hold on just a second. Salaki. But you would think that with all the hell that the Lord got people going through, that they would be mindful and turn away from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at various situations. For instance, Hurricane Katrina. For all that devastation to come upon that city, you would think that they would, turn. They would have turned from that and actually got right with the Lord, man. All right, because you got a lot of Israelites down there, but they didn't. That place is still evil. They still glorify the fact that they got a high murder rate. So that's just the mind of not only Israelites but people in general. That the Lord, He's just gonna have to set things in order via World War III, via that nuclear fire, via coming back and putting these nations, these heathen nations in captivity. All right, and putting reprobate 2/3 to death, because even though He sends plagues, upon the world, like the scriptures say, people still ain't gonna get it, man, because they're that far removed from righteousness, man. They don't equate that the Lord could is responsible for the outbreak of a damn bed bugs terrorizing everything around you. So that's pretty much the point. Short and to the point. Let me see if there's anything else. I want to read in this. All right, let me see. Let me see. I mean, that's pretty much the point, man. But for these bed bugs to be all over the city, man, that's crazy. All right, that's crazy. So, shalom. Till next time, shalom.